Welcome back to Melodic Memories of Lights Monarch. I'm Casey, and today I want to talk about not only Black Veil Brides with their new single, Revenger, but also Noah Kahan's newest album, The Great Divide. First, though, I want to break down Black Veil Brides TalkShopLive event that just went on this past week. And I wrote down a bunch of notes because I was able to watch it live. Granted, whether or not they're actually legible and make sense is yet to be seen, but I will be going over them right now because what a live stream that was, truly. Like, no word of a lie. I know I'm a fan, I know I'm biased, but that live stream, if you didn't catch it, you missed out. Hopefully, it is still available for those that did miss it, but if you did miss out and it isn't available anymore, at least you can live through it vicariously through me and my experience, and the few things, and I say few as in pages, of things that I did pick up and jotted down. First and foremost, voice notes from Jake. That's kind of what all started this process in terms of everything that we hear musically. At least, I can't say everything, but the basis of the songs all came from voice notes from Jake. Jake Pitts, the guitarist, for those that don't know, though you should. He's an amazing guitarist. And it's just, again, the talent that he himself holds alongside the whole band. But the live orchestra, it was conducted by Jinx. There's going to be live orchestra on this album. They showed it in the making of for the documentary that we seen at the end. But don't worry, I'll get to that. But it was awesome to hear that Jinx actually conducted, like with the stick and everything. They were going on about it. That is honestly so cool because I don't believe that has ever been done before for Jinx. And he's always done the orchestra parts like himself, to my knowledge. Like, I know he's amazing on the violin, amazing on the piano, and he knows this kind of world. He's built it up ever since, I want to say, he was very young. Like, he very influenced by classical music alongside Metallica and whatnot. Same way that Jake is, of course, but the proper orchestra and symphony live that is on the album, it's a proper orchestra. They had like a symphony of people with their wind instruments, their strings. Like, it was so cool to actually see it and hear about it. Also, Hallelujah live gospel singers, they were live singing there in the studio. And full-scale gospel choir on Cut, Vindicate, and Woe in Pain. So we've got a lot of diversity on this coming record. Stuff that's, Black Veil has always done to some extent, but never to this extent. And should I even mention the gang vocals? Like, we just heard Revenger, which is the new single. I will again get into it, but that's crazy. Anyways, CC, he evolved to a new level. His words, he actually was pushed to do drums in a way that he hasn't before. Like a full-on evolution for him, alongside the rest of the band members. Also, Jake, he programmed it. CC learned quite a lot, according to himself. And the song Cut with Lil Czar, it is pulled back in the drum department, if you will. The drums perfectly complement all the songs, according to CC. He thinks that it isn't so much like old Black Veil Brides, where it was just him going balls to the wall, but he did kind of learn, and this is something that he's been learning from the past couple records. He said something similar with The Phantom Tomorrow as well, just the fact that the drums themselves, they perfectly complement all the songs. Then to move on to Lonnie. He's been in the band 7 years. 7 years. I can't believe it. I cannot believe he has been in this band for so long, because it feels like he's been in it forever. He's definitely the bassist they should have had from the very beginning. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, obviously. The band members that were apart prior, they all had their hand, for better or for worse. And it's awesome that, Lonnie has been able to find his place and become so accepted, not just with the band, but also the fans. I know the fans love him, and I myself, as a Canadian, adore the fact that he's a Canadian. Like, I know it's such a small little detail, but he always kind of gets made fun of it, at least in the early days. So it's just, I don't know. It's funny, but also great. Congrats, Lonnie, on full 7 years. And he actually found his place within the band those 7 years ago, and it's also his birthday. he feels more comfortable with the band, and his birthday passed, so they were able to wish him happy early birthday, as well as Cece. His birthday was the day before, so happy belated to both of them, if I hadn't said it in a past episode. And then the themes. Let's go to themes. Gospel, compliments. They wouldn't say fucking. I don't know why I wrote compliments, but apparently they wouldn't say fucking. I don't know why. I guess it's against God. I don't know. They would say ucking though. But when you listen to the song and there's the gospel singing fucking, they don't actually pronounce the F, which is absolutely wild and something I wouldn't have actually caught on to. So that was a little tidbit that I found very intriguing, to say the least. Now, also, the original theme, the original story, if you will, for this album, it was supposed to be a concept record. It started as such, and it was supposed to be based on, and not just so much based on, but the story itself, like ripped right from it, Paradise Lost, which we found that out with Hallelujah, the song itself. There was a lot of themes regarding it. The music video itself is literal imagery ripped right from that world and story, so it makes sense. I'm glad to some extent that they didn't go full on into it, because it isn't an original story. Not that they're doing a concept record this time around, and it isn't so much a story, but more so a theme. The album has this theme of vindication, and the theme of vindication is so much more than just revenge, so much more than black and white, and that is what's shown through these songs. So it's kind of like a compilation regarding the theme of vindication, if that makes sense. So it's not a story necessarily, at least for what we know for now. That could change, God knows. They are and have confirmed that they are working on new music already. So there's going to be some deluxe tracks, I would assume, if not a whole new part to the album. I know they wanted to do a part 2 to The Phantom Tomorrow, which kind of turned into The Morning for what they had done before they had to leave Sumerian for reasons that haven't been fully talked upon, but you know, you can kind of guess as to why, but I'll leave that there. But when it comes to this record and the themes of vindication, they ring through every single song in their own way. And it kind of tackles it from a different angle each time to make up this record of Vindicate, which makes so much sense when you really break it down. And the songs we have heard already, again, makes sense. The fact that it is heavier, more aggressive, makes sense. And not to mention the extra bonus tracks that they've got for this record, for the covers that they're doing. The songs that they're covering also kind of hone in on those themes, and also are just songs that they've always wanted to hear a certain way, and well, they're doing it. And obviously we got the MCR cover. They did announce that there would be a few others that I will get to here as I go along in my notes. Also, the original idea for Woe and Pain was originally text ripped directly from Paradise Lost, which is very interesting to know. Don't know how that would have turned out. Obviously, it didn't turn out well with the fact that they changed it, as well as a lot of the other parts of the record, probably a part of the reason why it took them so long to get this album out. But I better start moving faster through these, or else we're going to be here all day. So, spiritual connection through music, it's beautiful. It's something that Andy said. The connection that people have with music is honestly spiritual in some extent, and I can very much relate to that, 100%. Revenge, vindication drives Andy, and winning for oneself also. Again, the themes of the album. Obviously, it is shown through every track, and this is what we're getting. We're getting the third pillar to what this band is, and I love it. The classic fuck you attitude, we will succeed, it's what kind of drove them from the very beginning, and is what drives not only them to this day, but the album, the whole way it sounds, and really them just doing exactly what they've always wanted to do and letting nobody tell them different. Now, the ambition through vindication is a big theme from the record, and you can't tell us what to do. Also, Revenger, the song itself, which is now out. I will say that right now to save some time here, because I imagine the rest of these notes might take a while. But Revenger, it came out on Friday. There was an early release for those that signed up for it. I did myself and got to listen to it that morning before it actually dropped. What a surprise. I did not know that a new Black Veil song was on its way, and that was a perfect way to start my day, getting a text from Andy, or at least the, whatever bot sent out the texts, but from Black Veil anyways. And to hear the song before everyone else did on streaming was really cool. And the song itself, holy hell, it is heavy. Probably the heaviest song we've heard. No, not even probably. Most certainly the heaviest song we've heard yet. And it makes sense. It's got Rob from Machine Head. Obviously, he's a very hard rock metal singer. And his voice is something that just felt right on the song. And I actually have an email here for when the song came out on Friday from Andy himself that everybody got that is signed up for their mailing address, but I wanted to read it out here, and it says, "Revenger is now yours, and I wanted to share something a little deeper with you about this one. I've always been interested in the idea of justice and how we celebrate it without always questioning what it really means. So I wrote this song from the perspective of someone chasing the ultimate form of justice. Writing from someone else's perspective meant it didn't feel like a song I should tell alone. I asked Rob Flynn of Machine Head to be a part of it. His voice, his energy, everything about it felt right for this track. But more than that, Rob has been in our corner since the very beginning. When we were coming up and taking a lot of heat from other bands, he was one of the first people to stand up for us. That's something I've never forgotten. This ended up becoming one of my favorite songs on the record, and I think this video really brings that story to life. I hope you connect with it the same way I do. Hit the link below to watch the music video, and thank you for being a part of this with me, Andy." So that was something that was really nice to hear, gave a little bit of a breakdown to what the themes of the song are and why there's a feature. Because my biggest thing with this album, when it was first announced, was the worry of features. And it shouldn't be a worry, ever. Obviously, if the artist thinks that the feature fits, it should fit, right? But I'm so used to the popular world, popular music. Not that I listen to a ton of it, but I mean, the bands that were once niche that I've loved have kind of blown up into popularity. A lot of them have. And it's always the worry that the mainstream kind of sellout way, I'm not saying that they necessarily are or any band that has done this is, because Andy and Black Veil, they're obviously showing that they are not that case. But there's always the worry of what if they're just doing it for the label? What if they're doing it to get extra streams, extra money, extra popularity? But this one was literally just because why else? It makes sense. It fits. And 100% it does. I don't listen to Machine Head. I don't know Rob Flynn. I just don't know that world of music. And I'll be upfront about that, as I have been. But when it comes down to this song, Revenger, it fits 110%. I love it. I love the fact that it is so heavy, and the themes that it's dealing with, the lyrics itself are amazing, and the song gets nasty. Like, extra emphasis on the nasty, because the thing with this song, when it hits that breakdown, Andy's screaming, and it just slows right down and chugs. Oh, I have not heard Black Veil sound like that before, like ever. They've gotten close, but never quite to that extent. So it makes sense. I love the song. I know I've said this countless of times, but I cannot wait for this album. May 8th can't come soon enough, truly. And it's all so exciting. Revenger, more songs coming in the next 2 weeks. Less than that now. Like, we're in for an absolute treat. And I don't even know how else to put it, because everything to do with this record so far has been heater after heater. And I know I'm biased, but I'm trying to just be honest, and that is my honesty. The whole bias that I have towards this band, yes, it's there, but it's not just me saying this. It's the popular world. Like, a lot of people that don't know Black Veil, or only knew them as whatever they thought they were without actually knowing what they were, the usual shit that Black Veil always got through the years and continuously get still to this day, which is unfortunate. But more and more people are turning the leaf, if you will, to say that Black Veil has made, 5 for 5, like these singles hit after hit after hit, and they love them. So I think that this means really big things. I mean, watching the BVB Talk Shop Live thing that I'm talking about right now, like there was quite a few people in there. I think it got up to 7.7K. And that's just what I noticed. I don't know if it grew further than that, but they were also live on their Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. So there was like countless of people there able to watch it. And I don't know how much the actual, replay of it got for views before it got taken down on YouTube at least, but a lot of people were there and were able to experience this Talk Shop Live. So I do believe there's a lot of hype for this album, way more than any other Black Veil album yet. And it's weird to say that because I've always had hype, but I know from the inside looking out for once, being a part of the fandom, the Black Veil Brides army, knowing that and actually acknowledging and seeing that there are more people on the outside wanting to be let in. Like, it's so inspiring. It's so cool. Like, come join us. I know there will be gatekeepers, of course, that say, oh, you weren't an original fan, blah, blah, blah. But in my opinion, like, what does it matter, right? Like, the more the merrier. Come on in. Like, come join the family. Let's get these guys some recognition as they deserve. But that's enough from me, off my high horse here and rambles aside. I want to continue with my list here. To continue on anyways, the song Revenger, Rob was an original support. It's the only song on the record that reflected an idea of justifying something that one does, even if thought of as wrong. Then on to Cut with Lilith Czar, initially worked on while on tour. And I guess it came from an Asking Alexandria demo. Not necessarily the band's demo, but one of the members. I think that's who he said. I wrote asking demo, so I'm assuming that's what I meant. Very cool. A lot more friends helping with this record, it seems. And just, again, a better sense of community. Less hatred, even though the album is kind of not centered in hatred, obviously. It's Vindication, but some people can misconstrue the angry tone and nature of the songs as hate. But, each to their own. Whatever you take from it is whatever you take from it. But to continue on, Cut is the sad version of Revenge. Something you were dedicated screwed you over, instantly thought Juliet would be perfect, and emotionally she was the perfect fit as well. Very interesting. Cut is a song that I was told by Chris, if you're listening, hey man, hope you're enjoying the episode. But he actually mentioned that Cut is one of the best songs on the album. And during the making of documentary that, again, I will get to, we got to hear it. Not in full, but like a good chunk of it, and a lot of lyrics from it too. I wrote down a few here. Maybe those were the lyrics that I just read off. I can't actually fully remember what they are, but they're all in here. And I didn't get to write down every single one. A word here or there might be off, but I must say, Chris, you were onto something. Then, of course, best epic songs were done. Not sure what I meant about that, but Andy, fucking fantastic voice. Obviously, his voice just continues to evolve and grow, and said voice evolution was because of Andy's new lifestyle. Obviously, he's in a much better place. He is no longer smoking cigarettes, hasn't been for a long time, no longer drinking, hasn't been for a long time. Healthy lifestyle. I believe he's vegan, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of more healthy routines that he has gotten into. And he wanted to be up to par with the other band members, because he always, as everyone is, their worst critic. Everyone's their own worst critic, rather. And for Andy, it is no exception. He thinks that he is the lesser of every single member in the band, and he wanted to make sure that what he had to bring to the table, his instrument, which is his voice, he wanted it to be up to par with everyone else. So he went and actually got some vocal lessons, specifically scream lessons. So that is why, or a big reason as to why, as Jake even said, oh, you're getting scream lessons, let's add more to the record. And obviously we've heard them, and they are insane. He sounds the best on this album that we've ever heard him sound, in both singing and screaming. And also, from their new live performances that just happened this past weekend, I have heard reports of him sounding the best he has ever sounded, and he's screaming more. So obviously, it worked. And he is the best shape he has ever been in. The new record still sounds like BVB. Obviously, BVB is very uniquely sounding, same with Andy's voice. And they all have a very hard work ethic, to no surprise. So, interesting voices and good, always staying true to themselves. And the signed CDs will be at shows, so if you're going to see them, you might be able to buy a signed CD. Didn't mention signed vinyl, but maybe that is a possibility as well. And the album, Vindicate, it will eventually be played in full, and during this coming tour, at least 5 of the songs played will be brand new songs. So, something to look forward to the fans of the new stuff, and obviously they know how fire their new stuff is, so of course they're going to play it. And I heard that Revenger is one of the songs, the brand new one, so that is something to look forward to. Not only that, but the whole set list. I did see it. I'm not going to talk about it here because, again, I know some people try to stay spoiler free. So that's kind of all I'm going to mention, unless if there is more written in my notes, but it isn't going to be a breakdown of the set list, don't worry. To go on to favorites, Lonnie, Jake, Cece, Jinx, Andy, they all have their favorite songs, and they were asked, what is your favorite song from the new record? Well, Lonnie had said Revenger is his favorite right now. It was actually cut at one point. And also Woe and Pain is Cece's favorite. Then Jake, he loves them all. He couldn't really pick. Jinx loves Ave Maria, I believe is how it's pronounced. And then Woe and Pain cut Vindicate. He likes those ones too. But Ave Maria is his favorite. And then, of course, Andy. Cut is special to him. Probably his favorite alongside Alive. And it, I guess, has a bunch of Bruce Springsteen references. So that'll be interesting to hear. I'm not a huge Bruce Springsteen fan. I know Andy is, obviously, because of his mom. Love it. Love that he's able to put more influence not only from the hard rock or rock and roll side of things, but also this pop world that he was grown up into as well. I say pop loosely, of course. I know it's Bruce Springsteen, but when it comes down to it, it's lovely to know that, because that's originally the outlet he had for that kind of influence on him was Andy Black. So very intriguing to know that we're getting some more stuff that is that side of him put into Black Veil Brides. Don't think it's ever been done before. A little bit in Veil, maybe, and subsequent releases, but not nearly much. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of straight references he has from Bruce Springsteen. Now, on to the bonus songs. Like I mentioned earlier, new material, they are in the middle of making it. They've got an AFI Death of Seasons streaming bonus. I believe that's what the song is. If you look on Spotify, it is right there. You'll be able to see it, bonus track right at the end of the album. So that's awesome, a new cover. And also there will be other ones. There's going to be a Typo Negative cover, and I'm not sure what other ones. Black Number One, I'm not sure what that is. Maybe I misheard. But obviously we got the My Chem cover, and it's going to be heavy and kick-ass according to the band members, especially Jake and Andy. And they did go on to say that maybe they'll play it live someday alongside with the other covers. So that's something that's exciting. Do I want them to fill their set with covers? No. They've got, tons of good material to choose from. So really, I don't know if that would be the best thing for them to do. Maybe in specific settings, specific shows, a festival set, maybe. But if they're doing their headlining shows, I wouldn't necessarily want to hear that over one of their older songs. Really just depends. But they may have to cut like 5 songs from their set list because of Live Nation, this coming tour set list. So whether they did that or not, they didn't say, but we will find out. Now, onto the goat symbolism. The goat symbolism is obviously heavy throughout the entire record, especially within Certainty. And the goat that was dead was not a real goat. I'll put that out there right now. Now, Jinx, he will be playing the violin on tour, as he always does. It wouldn't be a Black Veil tour without Jinx pulling out his violin. And of course, the Doré art from Paradise Lost for Hallelujah video, as we already knew. Now, Bleeders, it was always meant to be on the record as we knew, but it was a question that was asked, so I felt right to write it down. And the Sweeney Todd-esque record, they were asked if a full musical Broadway-type record would be on the way, and they kind of dodged the question. So whether or not that will be a thing, probably not, but who knows? You never, ever know. Knives and Pens, the meaning has changed over the years for Andy. Because their job is to convey emotions, not to feel them themselves, and in the recent years, to get to relive it through the audience, especially the new people that he sees in the crowd, maybe hearing it for the first time, or discovering the band for the first time and falling in love with the song, as many of us did back in the day, and he is the most happy he has ever been with it right now, because it has taken on a brand new meaning. Also, Lonnie, his 5 favorite songs to play are Knives and Pens, Bleeders, In the End, Faithless, and the brand new song, Certainty. So, obviously, I could have expected a couple of those. I'm actually surprised Legacy isn't in it, because I know that song is most certainly driven by the drums and the bass, so maybe he doesn't like being the focal point of the band, of a song. So regardless, that was his 5 favorites, and I can't say he chose any wrong, because any choices really would have been great. But Revenger, the song, will be played live, and we will hear it soon before the tour. Obviously, they were talking like the next day, which was insanity. And the most difficult to write was Revenger. Structurally, stylistically, they were all different, and more Slipknot-esque, which is interesting to know that, yeah, they were not lying. Now, any album anniversary shows. Will we ever get any again? Because I know we obviously got the 10-year for Restitch These Wounds, but that was because it was re-recorded. Now, Andy did mention that there isn't really any 10 years they can do, because they already all passed, aside from this year being the 10-year of the Shadow Side. And I know we got Veil 10-year coming up as well. But when it comes to the early half of the band, as Andy put it, they're already pretty well all 10 years old. And again, aside from Veil, and I guess Ghost of Ohio, but again, they did mention that 20 years of We Stitch These Wounds would be possible. It'd be something that they'd like to look into. So we have hope. We have hope. We just might have to wait another 4 years, so not too long. But a sincere thank you from the band. It's been the most hype and support ever in the history of the band, and they are forever thankful. Like, the most thankful they have ever been. And Joshua Schultz, making of documentary, they were comfortable when filming it, and also something that I don't know if I knew, was reminded of it anyways, that Joe, actually, Average Joe himself, Joe, Andy's cousin, he did Wretched and Divine's documentary, which I didn't fully know. Now, their first shows in Exhibit A parking lot happened years and years back, which is why this coming Revelation in Black 2, or rather, recently past Revelation in Black 2, happened back at his art studio, and I heard great things about it. They had some cake, they had a bunch of artwork, a bunch of props, memorabilia from their history. I got to see some videos and pictures, and I loved being able to live through everyone else. So thank you for anyone listening that posted and actually went. I love it. And if you want to share your story, do so in the comments below, please. I want to know everything. And while you're down there, please leave a like if you can. Subscribe as well. Means a lot to me. And feel free to share this episode. Now, the Revelation in Black 2, it is in his studio with lots from the entire catalog of Black Veil Brides. It was essentially a Black Veil Brides museum. Now, the making of documentary. I'm not going to go too in-depth about this because, again, I want you to see it. Maybe if it doesn't ever get released in an official way outside of the DVDs, I will mention it and go over these notes. But I just wanted to kind of say, because I still have pages of notes and this episode is already going to be too long. But you know what? Let me just rapid fire here. Get ready. Making of documentary. Making something from nothing, inspired. Cece, very challenged. Most different recording experience. Ave Maria left him shot, quote unquote. Cut gave him overthinking challenges. Andy and Jake played MK Arcade, so Mortal Kombat. Off top of the head, best ideas, gang vocals on Ave Maria. Existing titles/themes ideas to different melodies. Jake to Andy developing story ideas. Paradise Lost, new narrative. Only time ever with so much time to write said songs. Classic BVB production. Extra time to perfect each song, never before allowed to such an extent. No outside influence, sung by Andy as well. If we never worked with Feldy, Andy has said, would have been natural evolution with said gained knowledge. So if they would have been set the world on fire right into this, would have been kind of their natural trajectory if they knew everything they've learned over the past however long they've been a band. Long time now. But logical evolution, of course. They've all the knowledge gained through their experiences. Feldy, John Feldman himself, was a big help in helping them learn. Lots of choir, live choir. Jake's melodies being turned into choir was a very cool experience for him. Something from nothing once again. New songs shown. Jinx composed some on the spot. Orchestra, being the strings, Jinx conducted and composed. Overture, I'm assuming, because it sounded very much like it. I'm definitely not ready, but there were leitmotifs. I'm so ready at the same time. Gang vocals. Hell yes, we heard some of them in Revenger. Also, vocals. I Am the Enemy. Overture, bass and winds. Possible interlude. Here's some lyrics. Yeah, you cut me down again. Say goodnight. Thinking it was from Cut. Haunting throwbacks, of course. CC rapping back in the day. Drunk over a decade ago. Second verse, my balls are in your purse. If you know, you know. Something CC cannot live down. Lilith in studio for Cut. Sings, I hear you praying to Jesus. Why do I still love you? On my mind, and why do I struggle to breathe when I think of what you've done to me? Don't know if that's word for word, but it is what I wrote down. Ooh, 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 behind vocals. Very good. I feel the weight. Lilith's scream in Hallelujah was long and intense. Underlined intense, because holy shit. Jinx on piano, haunting on Cut. There's piano. What? I've got a lot of pressure on my mind. Cut, my God. There was a snippet of it. I couldn't write down anything for it because I was just in awe. Heavy, alive. Alive is very heavy. Helping hand into screams. The world is bleeding. No escape from Revenger. My sorrow. Guitar for Woe and Pain in Jake's studio for finishing touches. Changed key of songs, Bleeder's guitar used, double drop B, bass regular drop B, insane solo, and a peek into guitar tracking, which is meticulous. That is all I wrote for that. Sorry for the rapid fire. Hopefully you guys actually stayed to listen to that, because I don't even know if half of it made sense, but those were my quick notes that I was able to write down, and I did not mean to ramble about Black Veil for like 30 minutes, if not longer. But hey, we out here, Black Veil Brides is awesome and deserves it, to be honest. And normally, I would probably just end the episode here, but I gotta mention Noah Kahan. Obviously, Black Veil's new record, for those that don't know, or if you do know, May 8th, let's go. That is when it is dropping very, very soon. The album in full. Give it to me. I am ready. I'm going to have a brand new record player. I'm going to have it all set up. I cannot wait. Once that record gets here, it is the very first thing that's going to be spun on that coming turntable, because my very first record I've ever spun was Black Veil Brides 4. Their fourth record, or self-titled, whichever, what have you. That is my favorite Black Veil Brides album. And obviously, it made sense that when I bought a record player at the time, that one was in the store, so that was the first record I bought, and first record I ever heard, specifically vinyl record. And it just felt full circle moment to be like, new Black Veil record coming, gonna get a new turntable. I've been looking at them for a long time. Finally pulled the trigger with help from a work gift. Not gonna go into detail on that, but got a new record player. At least it's on its way, and I'm gonna be setting it up. What better way to come full circle with a band that I adore than to listen to their brand new record on my brand new record player and have it finally come full circle. Not that I'm going to be like not collecting records anymore, so it's full circle to some extent, but hopefully y'all understand, because if you're fans, I'm sure you get it. I shouldn't have to explain anymore. But that is something that I am very much looking forward to. May 8th cannot come soon enough. I hope that my record actually comes in on time, or that Sunrise, where I work, does get the record in on time. We will wait and see. It doesn't show up in our system quite yet, but I suppose that can always change. Now, as I mentioned, Noah Kahan. I know that it's weird to have these two artists in the same conversation, but I can't help it. The same time that Black Veil did all their things, well, that Friday, not only did we get Revenger, we also got Noah Kahan's new album. Rather, Revenger, I believe, came out on Thursday, officially, and then we got Noah Kahan's album, The Great Divide. So, I wanted to read out the email that he sent out to the people on his email list. And it says, The Great Divide out now. My fourth album, The Great Divide, is yours to listen to. It is hard to even begin to describe what these last few years making this album has felt like. The collision of fear and pressure and joy and luck and total love has left me wordless. And if you know me personally, I hardly ever shut my mouth. I spent many months walking forward in complete darkness, hands out in front of me, desperate to touch something familiar that would show me I was near the light switch again. As lonely as it felt, and as unfamiliar as the world seemed in those moments, I was never really alone. I don't think any of us truly ever are. I was guided through the wilderness by calm voices, by the stillness of my home state, by the total commitment of my band, my producers, and team, by the steady and loving touch of my wife and family, and of course, by the constant and enduring encouragement of you all, who I am so lucky to have as fans. I am very proud of what we are doing together, and I hope we can live this dream for a long, long time. And then, not long after, that same day, he released The Great Divide, The Last of the Bugs, and there was another email to say, 4 extra songs, out now on all streaming platforms, and yes, you get Staying Still. So, amazing. Awesome, fantastic, what an album. All the things, obviously. I adored it. It was the second album in history for myself that had made me cry for every single song. There wasn't a single song on the record that I didn't cry to, or at least eyes water to. It went all the way from my eyes were watering to complete full-on sobbing. Again, something about his music is like therapy, and just the ability he's able to pull all of this out, stuff within me that I didn't even realize I had. It's something that I've only met one person that really understands it with his music specifically, and I'm sure there's tons of people out there that do get it to some extent, but Noah Kahan truly just kind of hits different. And I want to go over the track list as well, being End of August, Doors, American Cars, Downfall, Lighthouse, Paid Time Off, Staying Still, The Great Divide, Haircut, Willing and Able, Dashboard, 23, Porch Light, Deny, 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 Headed North, We Go Way Back, Spoiled, All Them Horses, A Few of Your Own, Orbiter, and Dan. That is the complete track list. I adored the album. Again, I love everything to do with it. If it wasn't for Black Veil being released this year, it might be my album of the year. And it might still be. Obviously, I need to hear Black Veil's record to fully know. I don't want to just put all my chips on it and be like, yes, it is the one, and then it maybe isn't. But I know Black Veil's going to be sick. Like, that record, there's no doubt in my mind that it isn't going to be wicked. But I'm just saying, personally, with what affects me, and this album affected me a lot, I really need to sit with it some more and let it truly kind of boil in. And maybe when I do, I'll have some more thoughts to kind of share about the record aside from just the basic level or base level kind of stuff. But for anyone that listened to it, I hope you're okay and know you're not alone. Because it's a sad album. Incredibly sad. So I love it. Even with all the sadness, I do love it. And it's something that actually helped me with some stuff I've been dealing with in life. And again, need to sit with it some more to really get some thoughts brewing. But I hope if you like folk kind of alternative music and haven't heard this, give it a listen. I do believe you'll be in for a treat. Just know that it's going to be sad. Aside from that, I wanted to just mention, to end off here, a few upcoming things. Being Bring Me the Horizon tour in Edmonton. Yes, I'm finally going to be able to see Bring Me here. And not just Bring Me, but Motionless in White, which I have seen before. Bring Me the Horizon I've seen at the When We Were Young festival, obviously, as I've mentioned before. But the big one, and funny to say they're the opener, The Plot in You. I have been looking to see The Plot in You countless times. It's been at least 3 times that I have tried to see them and have failed. And this is finally the moment that I might be able to see them. I'm signed up for pre-sale. I will hopefully be able to get some decent tickets. It doesn't have to be in the pit. I'm fine with nosebleeds, whatever. Just give them to me. I want to be in that arena. So I cannot wait for that. I hope I am able to actually score some tickets. Fingers crossed that the Great War treats me well. But other than that, the other announcement was Halsey. She announced the deluxe edition of The Great Impersonator out May 1st. And I had to mention those two. There are some new releases as well. I haven't gotten around to them yet, though. So I will quickly fire those off just to say that I did. And those new releases themselves are obviously Noah Kahan with The Great Divide, Michael Jackson, the songs from the movie, that's new. Cammy Ko released Psycho, Billie Eilish released the intro to Hit Me Hard and Soft, and the Amity Affliction released House of Cards. That is also a new album that I constantly am forgetting about, which is so unfortunate because I love them. There's just been so much going on, and I promise, not just to everyone listening, but to myself, that I will get to that album in the next coming days. And then Arrows in Action, I think I've heard this before. Elenium with Dustin Lynch, Die Living Backroad version. And we already got Black Veil Brides with Revenger, and the only other one that I don't know if I mentioned before was MGK with Fred Durst being Fix Your Face. I've heard a few of them. Obviously, I can't say I've heard none of them, but I am looking forward to getting to House of Cards and letting The Great Divide sit with me some more. And then, hey, I'm set for music at least, and there's still another week to go for Black Veil to come out. Insane. Absolutely insane. I can't believe we're actually here. It's wild, but I kind of wanted to leave out and say something just from me to you to say life changes very quickly. You'll miss people from your past, be it family, friends, loved ones, lost ones, ex-lovers, what have you. And your day-to-day can change in an instant. But amongst all of that noise, you've just got to try to stay focused and not let those things eat away at you so much. Despite everything, it is still you. I've personally been thinking and reflecting a lot, missing a lot of people and fantasizing of what could have been in many ways, sometimes by choice and sometimes, or rather other times, the thoughts are just forcefully pushing themselves to be present within my mind, but I'm improving and I'm focusing, trying to take my own advice and put it into practice. I'm moving into a brand new job. I'm doing a lot of things that I'd never thought I would be capable of, and I've actually even been writing some. Not like a ton, but some. Just to get it out of the place in my mind and onto a place that I deem safe rather than just bombarding somebody I care about, or on the opposite end, somebody who wouldn't listen and wouldn't even care about me. But wish me luck, please, as I do the same to you. I wish everyone listening luck in your day-to-day in life, of course. And whoever you are that is listening to this and needs to hear it, we'll get through this together. So thank you so much for listening. And most importantly, thank you for discovering the music within.